Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los-Anджелес in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. I am delighted to be welcomed back. We're again going from the USA to Kazakhstan, which is so exciting. With one of the most talented people from Kazakhstan and around the world. Ainamkoz, it's really great to have you back. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here.
And I know you weren't there present, but I was just speaking with you and people truly, truly loved your film. There was so many amazing comments. And so we're really, really happy that you came back to us and also brought us Gulmira. So for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look clip.
Ой, Гульмирочка, тебе так повезло.
Ой, басталды.
Сендердің салондарында бос вакансия бар ма? Қайрат қарсы болмай ма?
Мен саған үйленбей тұрып айттым. Жұмысты мен істеймін. Үйде отырасың, бала қарайсың. Не дейсің маған? Ай! Шығар тіліңді сөйле! Гульмира.
Okay, well, this is amazing. I always am so grateful that you bring your work to us, and it was a real pleasure. But for those that haven't seen your film, Ainamkoz, tell us the brief synopsis.
So long story short, it's a movie about a woman from Kazakhstan who is suffering from domestic violence and also from like the patriarchal society that she's in. And it's mostly about her inner thoughts and inner battle that she's having. And yeah, and mostly like about how lonely she feels there.
I was mesmerized from the get-go, you know. I mean, in the opening scene when she's just, you know, the bruises on, you know, on her hands and her arms, and it was, you know, such a significant beginning to how you open the film, and you know, you already felt like this torment, this trauma that she was going through. What I really, you know, loved about it as well is that, you know, I'm sure universally anyone that has been through any domestic violence can relate to this, you know, horrific thing that happens throughout the world, right? For you personally, where was the inspiration for you to turn this story into a film?
So this movie is not only about the domestic violence, it's also about the psychological violence that she's facing, and how, you know, how it can affect you in that kind of way that you feel that you are going crazy and it's your fault. And that is really terrifying to be in a situation like that. And I just saw a lot of women like going through things like that. And, you know, like you cannot understand that you are in a toxic relationship until you like get out of like that kind of relationship. So that is like, also I wanted to show like why she's still there, like why she's not going somewhere, you know, like why she's still not out of that relationship. Because a lot of people, they do not understand that kind of woman, like why they are still in the family or why they are still in the relationship, because it's really hard actually to get out of that kind of relationship, because you are so trapped in it that you are just going crazy and you think like everything is your fault because like there's lots of manipulation and gaslighting.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that word, and I was thinking that as you were saying it, is that she, you know, as an audience member, I could feel that she was trapped, you know, she was trapped in this world. And I think the one thing that I love that you did that a lot of films don't do, you know, it's all right seeing, well, it's not all right, but seeing the physical damage, but the psychological damage is something you can't see, but doesn't mean it's not there. And you just orchestrated that so well. You know, I mean, I think you gave me one of the most hardest but most important cinematic experiences where she's at the table with the family And, you know, she, you know, in her own mind, she's just, you know, was a true example of where she was at psychologically. You did such a great job showing the psychology behind it. Like, you really did. Was that always kind of like your intention from the start, to sort of not only show the physical, but show the psychological in this kind of like fantasizing kind of situation?
Yes, because I experienced that kind of psychological abuse, and I know how it feels. And that's why I really wanted to, because, you know, like, you cannot prove to people that you are being abused because they cannot see the psychological damage. And that's why it's so hard. And like, that kind of people, like the main character Kairat, they know how to portray themselves like in the outside world, you know, and that people will not even believe you that they can be like crazy like that inside of the house. So yeah, that was like the main goal, like to show her, you know, all these feelings that she has inside, and she cannot even, you know, talk to someone and tell it to someone. And this is such a loneliness. And yeah, I really wanted to show that part, because, you know, I'm not showing a lot of physical damage there, because I think like the psychological damage is much more worse.
Absolutely. Well, let me just go on to say also as well that you did a really fantastic job in directing this. I thought, you know, your lead and your ensemble cast were incredible. You know, they all, you know, and again, I think, you know, you really sort of displayed the traditions of this particular family, what they go through, and also the kind of disappointment that someone feels if they're, you know, breaking free from something. And again, it was really great to watch. How did you, this is a very important subject and it's a very tough one to do. How did you work with as a director, you know, with your cast in this sense, particularly with your lead?
So my lead, she's actually not a professional actor.
What?
And, yes.
Wow.
But she like took part in like other my film, like the historical one, but like an episode. And I saw that she's a really good actress. And I remember like I talked with her a lot about the movie and about that woman. And she said that she had that kind of experience and that's why she understands her. And that was like, you know, the connection that she had with that story. And that helped a lot. Because like,
she needs to act all the time. She's so good.
Yeah, she's really good. Yes. And also like the scene in the forest, it was actually really cold outside and we all were like wearing coats and like hats and everything, and she was barefoot there, like running in her pajamas.
Oh my goodness. That was a very, 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 very powerful scene. And I think as well, I think something that, you know, you did in the film that is very different. Sometimes you see a lot of these situations where the person breaks free, which is great. And we all love to see that. But I think it was really like an interesting choice that you made about someone that you didn't, it wasn't a happy ending. It was a continuation of what she'd already gone through and it was getting worse. Was that always your intention to go that route? Because I think it was a really good choice that you did that, because I think it reminded us there's a lot of people going through this as we're watching this as well.
Yes, that was the decision like from the beginning, because in all of the stories that I have from my life, from like different situations and different women, it always ended like that, you know, like in my life, I didn't have like really good, like happy endings. And I was thinking about that, like, why? And maybe it's because of like a lot of factors, like the patriarchal society and also like the low self-esteem of a woman, and like, you know, that manipulation and gaslighting that she's not thinking that she's worth like something, so there's lots and lots of things that are on her shoulders, and that's some kind of like a weight that she like, you know, can't
Yeah,
hold.
absolutely. What was the biggest challenge you had in making this film?
I think the biggest challenge was like the story itself, like because it's like really hard story, but I didn't have like that kind of problems like on set, because like all the actors and like the crew, they were all like incredible, and like we didn't have like any problems. It was just like the story that I chose, you know, to tell.
No, most definitely. Well, I mean, it's a very important film. What's the reaction been like from audience members and everything? We certainly loved it having it at NewFilmmakers LA.
Oh, you mean like the reaction here in Kazakhstan?
Yeah, or anywhere you kind of shown festivals, yeah.
Like all of my festivals, they were like online, so I didn't have chance like to be there and see the reaction. But there's like several people who saw the movie like here in Kazakhstan, and I remembered one person because she's a psychologist from Kazakhstan, and she worked with women like that here in Kazakhstan who like suffer from domestic violence. And she said that she really liked the movie, and that I like portrayed like her inner battle and everything like really accurate. So that was for me like a really good, you know, comment. So
no, absolutely. And well deserved. I mean, I think this should be seen everywhere, all over the world, because this is something that obviously not only exists in Kazakhstan, but exists around the world. And I think, you know, it's got a universal element of just understanding people that have been, you know, domestically abused. Listen, I always love your portrayal of films. You always take us right into the root of what the situation, and I'm so glad that you stylized it in this particular way. What is next for you?
Oh, so right now I have like 2 features.
Amazing.
That I really want to shoot like in this several years. Like the first one is based on a true story, based on my life actually.
Oh wow.
Yes, it's called My Reflection. It's about a girl from Kazakhstan who like goes to the United States and then falls in love with a guy, but she has like illusionary intimacy with him, but she's not aware of that. And it will be like mostly like psychological fantasy drama. And the other one is the comedy drama that I'm planning to shoot here in Kazakhstan, like about the teenage girl who is who her mom died, and then she has to live with her biological father in the village with his family. So, but it's like more like a light movie, because I wanted to do something more like a comedy. So
yeah, no, well done. This is, I'm so excited. I'm glad that your features are now the next focus as well. But you know, I'm really excited because you know you really have so much talent. What would you know? You really do. I can't wait till you get to come to NewFilmmakers LA in person at some time. It'll be so special and nice for you to able to interact with the audience as well. For any filmmaker out there, just to finalize this question, any filmmaker out there, do you have any advice you would kind of share on the journey that you've had thus far in your career?
Oh, I think that you know, like this industry, you cannot be in this industry if you don't have the passion. Because this job is not stable, and you know, sometimes you can have the job, sometimes you don't have the job, and you know, you just need to keep going and to believe in yourself, in your stories, and you just need to have that passion inside of you. So yeah, I think that's like the main thing.
Hey, you're so right, because you know you really have to believe in the story, and you know it really showed Ainamkoz that you believed in this story because it resonated with us as an audience. And thank you for making a film like this. It's not only great to watch, but it's also very important film as well. So we're so glad you keep bringing films back to us. So thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, and I hope that I will come like to your festival, maybe with the feature.
Yeah, with the feature. Can you imagine? That would be so special. But thanks for being part of the New Filmmakers LA family. We're so lucky to have you, part of us and bringing great films. And thank you again for making such an important film. We really appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.